Yo, what's up, jazz guitar friends? Larry Tamanini here, Jazz Guitar Under 5 Minutes. Hey, how's it going? Happy Monday. Have a gig later on today, just working out some ideas in the shed. One thing that I like to talk about with my students is playing through a progression, right? You heard me start out by playing a 2-5-1 idea in the key of C, right? And you could see how the line changed. When I was starting out, you would play through a 2-5-1 idea, right? If we're in C, that's just going to be a D minor, the G resolving to this C7. And you spend all the time like learning just how to spell out a D minor and learning how to spell out a G7 and learning how to weight out a dominant chord, right? And just put those altered notes in and you try to apply it, right? And you end up seeing a lot of examples and seeing a lot of people play. And the first line that I did, and nice eighth note, and then I'm going to resolve right here, right? And then I'm just going to wait. Now, if I'm approaching a 2-5-1 idea like that, now it's okay to phrase and leave some time. But again, if I'm like improvising, I'm not going to leave those last 4 bars empty. And you're going to see how I'm going to work up to that, right? Because, you tend to think in 4-bar phrases, and you play this as your first bar, your second bar, and then you're kind of waiting, right? Waiting for the jazz bus to come, right? Just waiting, right? And then you jump back in. Okay, and then you kind of saw the next line where I just filled up the space. So I just kind of played, I wanted to fill up some space, so I played more of a major chord idea because that's what it is, right? Well, it is and it isn't. The hidden progression in a 2-5-1, if you're practicing like that, is going to be that 4th bar, which you can use to build tension going back into the 2. I just kind of hung out on the 1. 1 is a resolution. It's really hard to just kind of get any ideas. You're just sort of like, hey, how you doing? It's like Tony Bennett. Hey, everything's great. Everything's great. I like things that are great. Major chord. So, okay. So you got that major chord. The third time I played it through, all right, so I played a short idea and then I played a 2-5 going back into the 2. Right? Okay, now it's like starting to have a little bit more gravity in what's happening. All right, and then finally the 4th time I play this line, I play over that, You heard me play over that E minor 7 half diminished to A7. Really just targeting that A7 to bring me right back into that D, right? Because that's sort of what we want to do, right? That line is going to make everything you do swing a lot harder. So by not playing through the progression, you're leaving a lot of meat on the bone, right? You kind of think that, okay, once I kind of supercharge that 5 chord, like, okay, I'm good. I'm a bebop master. But then you kind of wait for that part to happen, and you're like, maybe I should be doing something. And you're not 100% sure. But this is a great way to play through a progression, right? You always got to find ways to kind of implement those 5 chords. There's a famous Wes Montgomery quote that says, with jazz guitar, the main thing is to keep it going. And this is what you're doing by keeping it going. If you're hanging out on a major chord, it's really hard to keep it going. But if I kind of, that time I went 1, 4, 3, 6, made them all dominant chords for the most part that time. That's really going to kind of change your improv a little bit. And again, I think when you're trying to phrase, if I'm looking at this as bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4, I'm really going to want to play more ideas on bar 4, go to that 2 chord, right? Makes the idea a little bit more powerful. So, jazz guitar friends, if you're just playing like 2, 5 and hanging on that 1, make that second bar of the 1 chord work for you a little bit more, all right? And again, play through the chord progression. Once you resolve the idea, there's still more work to be doing if you want to just keep it going. Don't just wait for that 2 to come around again or wait for that 2-5-1 pattern to come again. Try to find a way to make a 5 chord jump into whatever you're doing. So, all right, jazz guitar friends, if you made it this far, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Really close to 3,500 subscribers. So, hey, if you're that 3,500th subscriber, there might be a free prize in it for you. All right, jazz guitar friends, keep swinging.